Hey everybody, it's Missy.
And Lila.
Welcome to Life in Lyrics with Missy and Lila. Oh my gosh, are you excited about today?
I'm so excited about today. I am a child of the 80s and I am obsessed. And
Yes.
I have all of this stuff because I live in the 80s. And
Any
I
reason
just
to
love it.
dress up in the 80s, I'm there. Dress you up in
I
Lila.
love it.
Wasn't it the most fun decade?
It was the best.
The brightest, the funnest, the songs, the music.
The
music
music.
in the 80s
Lots
was
of
the
one-hit
best.
wonders, but they were all great. All of them were great.
There were a lot of one-hit wonders,
There
weren't
were,
there?
but they were fabulous. And there was
Yeah.
a lot of dancing and
Yep.
and Rubik's Cubes and Simon
it was great.
and I love the 80s.
Yes.
It was a fun decade, and for those who missed it, I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Everybody's trying to bring it back though.
I don't blame
you
them.
can never bring back the original, obviously, and that's what we were kind of going to talk about today with some of the movies and the soundtracks and.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, let's start with you. What was your favorite '80s movie and '80s soundtrack?
Okay.
And they could be totally different.
There are so many, but my
Mm-hmm.
favorite soundtrack is probably Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes.
Moving in stereo,
We have it right
Somebody's Baby. I mean, I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's like, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It
Mm-hmm.
is, Spicoli is my favorite character in that movie. I know lots of people love Phoebe Cates because of her boobs, but for me, it was Spicoli when he walks in and
Yeah.
he's like, he walks into the classroom.
Yeah.
It's U.S. history, and he walks in and says, "This is U.S. history. I see the globe right there." Or like, they got him to go to class because he was like, "There's no birthday party for me in here," and he was just like this stoner, crazy guy
Yep.
with Vans, the checkerboard ones, and
Yep.
just a goofball, and it brings back all of my friends from that era.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody knew a Spicoli back then, and I
Oh,
have my
absolutely.
own, so it's
Yeah.
like. It's near and dear to my heart.
I
But
love
that's
that.
my absolute favorite.
Okay. All right. My absolute favorite '80s movie. I'm kind of torn
Okay.
because Weird Science.
Gotta love
Like
Weird
hands
Science.
down, I think is my very
What
favorite.
would you little maniacs like to do first?
I know. Oh my, but then when Anthony Michael Hall is acting drunk, when he's drunk in the car, and I'm not going to imitate because I don't do a good impression.
Lisa.
Yes. Oh, he ain't got a license, Lisa. That one, but I'm not going to do it the way he does it. That movie was just my favorite. And then Chet, just what an asshole Bill Paxton was in that movie. It was so.
Oh my God.
It was
Chet.
so funny.
Chet. And he got turned into a big steaming pile of poop.
Yes, at the end, and then it was
He
just
was
so
he was interesting. You're stewed buttwad. It
Yep,
was like
yep.
it was the best.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he definitely made the movie.
Yes, definitely. And then the other one that I really, really loved was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, what a sweet movie. I had a
Like-
friend that looked just like the kid that played what was his name?
The hot teenage boy?
Yes.
Yes.
My friend Israel looked just like that kid growing
Yeah.
up. So I was like, oh my God, my friend Israel looks like that kid. And he's somebody that's near and dear to my heart, but he will always forever remind me
Yes.
of the boy that was in that movie.
Oh,
And just a good friend. But
No,
yeah, it was that kid.
It was just such a good,
His
fun
name.
movie, and but the music in some of these movies, like let's talk about Valley Girl here.
Oh,
Okay,
I'll
Take it
stop
away.
the world and melt with you, babe. I will, but let's go even further past the soundtrack on that. Valley Girl from Moon Zappa reminds me of that movie, even though it wasn't a song. It belonged in that movie, but
Right,
it wasn't in that movie. But I'll Stop the World and Melt with You is definitely, and Electric Avenue
Yeah.
was one that was in that movie. That horrible song. Oh my gosh. I always do this.
I'm like, wait a minute,
Spinning
I
Wheel
got
of
the whole
Death.
list. I got the whole list here.
It was that horrible girl band. It was terrible. That song was terrible.
That wasn't the Bananarama Girls, was it?
No, it was.
They weren't terrible.
Oh, I wish my sister was here. She's faster than Google. It was.
Are we prepared?
I'll think of it.
I know. We
It
do
will
this.
happen.
We'll do
It'll
this.
grab. It'll grab. But those are the ones that like stick out for me. Was
Yeah.
Electric Avenue especially, and I'll Stop the World and Melt with You were the
Yeah.
two of the ones, and they were at Dupars, which is something from being from California, as Missy is as well.
Yes.
Best pancakes, brulee oatmeal
Yep,
ever. It just seeing all that just brings back so much.
It does. It really does. And honestly, like, today's movies have good music. There's a lot of shows like Stranger Things has a great soundtrack, but it's all 80s. And that's what I keep noticing. It's like you love soundtracks when you love the songs and the decade that they were in, and other soundtracks, they just don't hit as well, and then you realize, well, it's not all my favorite music.
No, it's like time traveling. It's like the the hit parade from your life, and it just takes you back to that time when you hear those songs.
Yeah, and then obviously there's some of those movies that when you hear a song on the radio and you just can't help but think of that movie. That's the movie you think of first.
Eye
Like
of the
Footloose.
Tiger.
Yes, Eye of the Tiger, absolutely.
You go back to Rocky.
Yep, and then Danger Zone, Top Gun.
Oh, it's totally Top Gun.
Yeah.
But it gives you like this energy because of the movie that you saw.
Right,
So
right.
it takes you back to that time. It's a time machine, and
Absolutely.
I love it.
And for me too, I love when I have to do a chore or something that I don't want to do around the house or yard work or something. The best music to put on is that 80s upbeat music because it keeps you in a good mood when you're doing something you really don't want to be doing.
Do You Believe in Love by Huey Lewis and the News is one of my favorites to get me like going.
Yeah.
Your Love from the Outfield is one of my favorite top 10 80s songs of all time.
Yep.
I love Hall & Oates.
Yes.
And like anything from Hall & Oates. I love Hall &
Yes,
Oates.
yes.
But all those songs are just like feel good, happy songs that get your mojo going.
Right.
You know, and that's my go-to playlist. And my kids all listen to it. And we just turn it on, crank it up, and dance around the room to 1980s fun music.
And then there's those songs too that you've heard them, but maybe somewhere else, and you maybe didn't know it, but then when you see it in a movie like Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles, like Breakfast Club, right?
Oh.
Don't
you forget about me.
Don't you forget about that? Like,
it's iconic.
you may not know the band, you may not, but when you hear that song, you think of that, you know that song.
You
Like,
know the movie.
And it's so funny how a lot of that worked. And of course, you and Tommy seem to know way more of the music
But we're a lot older than you.
than I do. We're not going to discuss
She's a
age.
baby.
We're not going to discuss
We're older
age.
than Missy.
We are not going to discuss that.
So we have some years on her, and
Listen.
when you're that little, you don't remember the way you did
Right.
when you were a
So-
teen in those years.
So there's times where I'm like, not that I feel left out, I just feel really behind the game.
you're
you know
not,
what I mean? Like,
though.
because
You do really well. You're just young.
it's just that I don't have some of those cool memories. Like my memories, like your guys' memories, mine started like in the late 80s, early 90s. So like, you know what I mean? So
See, for me, everything was like so solidified by then. I mean, music
Right.
got me through some of the best and worst times in my life. It was
Absolutely.
it was definitely my therapy,
Yes.
even growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's from 70s schmaltz to early 80s rock, AC/DC. I love the Eagles, as I've mentioned before. I love all that music. And by that time, I mean, it's like my memory is wired by the time that you're just getting one.
Right.
But I remember my brother playing me during a hard time in my life, the Centerfold from the Jay Giles
yeah.
band. And I used to go into his room. I was probably 7. And I was like, Chuck, play the Na 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 song. And it was Centerfold,
Yeah.
na 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 na. And I had no idea. And My Sharona was another one.
Oh,
that
my
he played. And I remember listening to that stuff with my brother. And it was great for me because I had my mom listened to like John Denver and the Carpenters. My
Okay.
dad played in swing bands, and he was all about like the 40s.
Right.
Then I had my brother Steve, who was like I said, 70s schmaltz and Air Supply and Boston and things like that. And then my brother in Boston was my brother Chuck too. But Chuck listened to like Pink Floyd, and I had like this melting pot of music.
that's
So I
awesome.
like love everything. I'm
Right.
really very eclectic with my music. And then my sister Carrie, like
There's a walking encyclopedia of music.
no, she is Google. Carrie can tell you who played in what band in 3 seconds flat, and I'm sitting here going, I don't remember.
Okay, so I gotta ask, does she like hear a song on the radio and say, that guitar riff sounds like this person, look it up, and then she's right?
Oh no, she'll say, you know that so-and-so played this guitar riff for that band in this year, and then they played in this band the following year later. She's like seriously like tuned in so well that it almost scares me, because I'm like, how on earth do you know this? Because
Isn't it fascinating?
I wish she was here to like throw hand signals at me when we do this, because Carrie would save me, and I would be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Maybe next time we need to like have the computer like on mute or whatever, but have it on like Zoom or something, so she can hold up signs.
She'll hold up signs going, Lila, no, it's this.
Other people have monitors and cue cards.
Oh we'll have Carrie.
Yes, Carrie
knows all of it. Right. She'll tell me who played in what band and what year and what
Tommy
song
is the
who
same
wrote
way.
what. I know.
It's crazy.
And I know this much of what my sister knows.
See, I feel, hi church, I feel like Kelly Bundy. So do you remember the episode of Married with Children where they were training her for the TV show like Jeopardy or whatever? I think it was Jeopardy or something like that.
I do.
Every time a new piece of information came in, once her brain was full, and an old piece of information went out. And I feel like my brain has reached its capacity, so every time something new comes in, something old is going out.
Oh, honey, I feel like something old went out a long time ago. Right now, my brain is 90% of the time the spinning wheel of death. I feel like, I don't know if it was all the hair dye, the tanning, the menopause. I don't know what is doing this to me. But I feel like most days I don't remember my own name. I feel like I need a sign over my bed that says, Good morning, Lila, you're living in Franklin, Tennessee.
Like 50 First Dates.
Yes.
Like she needed
If I had a video that played every day, it would
reminding
really help
you who
me.
you are, what you had
It
to
would
do
help
today.
me so much. It really
It would be so much fun.
But if I could live in an 80s movie and just stay there, I would.
Which one would you pick?
Oh, that's hard, because there's so many. I wouldn't mind 16 Candles, because I thought Jake was
the original Jake Ryan.
I thought Jake was pretty hot, and I think Long Duck Dong would have been like a really cool hang.
Gosh, yeah.
I think that would have been fun.
Automobile.
Oh. Lake. Big lake. You beat up my face.
They just had a reunion. Did you see that? Those two?
No.
They just posted pictures on social media not too long ago. We'll have to look it up after.
I'm so behind in the times.
No, it was so cute. I just saw it. I want to say it was either on Instagram or TikTok or something recently. I saw. Oh yeah, so much fun. So much fun. But I think for me, I would probably pick The Goonies, just because.
Oh, okay. I agree.
Yeah.
It was charming.
Yes.
And it was an adventure.
It was a bunch of friends having fun, getting into trouble.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
And Brandon. Oh, Brandon. Brandon.
Yes.
You were too little. Brandon was my boy. I love Josh Brolin.
I was I was the Sean no.
Yeah, Sean Astin.
Astin.
No.
Austin.
It was Sean Astin.
Sean Astin.
Was it? Yeah, it was Sean Astin, because Mackenzie Astin was his little brother.
Yeah.
No, he was Mikey.
Yeah.
No, see, I like the big brother.
Well, plus I loved Corey Feldman too. I loved Corey Feldman.
Have you seen his Ascension Millennium stuff?
No.
Oh, don't. It'll kill your soul.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm not saying that he didn't do a good job in Stand By Me and License to Drive.
Absolutely.
I was Corey Haim.
I was a Corey Haim girl, hands down.
How darling was he?
Oh my gosh.
No, I loved him in Lost Boys.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you see him in License to Drive? And then what was it? Was it Quick Getaway?
I didn't see that.
Oh my goodness, that one was fun.
But what a darling kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God, God rest his soul.
Yes, absolutely.
Corey Feldman was, I felt, at the time he was fine.
Yeah.
Now watching the stuff he's doing now, my heart just hurts a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Corey.
But one of the things that I love about Corey Feldman, and he is not afraid to shed light.
No, he speaks truth.
on what has gone on in his life, and
I got to give him props for that.
and all the things that he's gone through. A lot of the kids, Disney kids, a lot of the Hollywood kids, it's coming to light more and more and more. But how hard their life had to be.
It's like selling your soul.
Yeah, it's crazy
Those
to
poor
me.
kids, and I will give him props for that.
Yeah, 100%.
I just wasn't a huge Corey Feldman fan.
Right.
But
in
I
the
liked
Goonies,
he was good in the
he
Goonies.
was so
he was
funny.
He was
He was
funny.
so
Mouth.
funny. Yes. Oh my gosh.
I loved it when he was talking to Rosa.
And he was telling her different things and scaring the hell
telling
out
her
of
there
her.
was cockroaches
God,
and drugs in the drawers and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, and he was the one that told Chunk to do the truffle
Yeah,
shuffle.
yeah.
But I
mean,
loved Chunk.
He was kind of a mean kid, but he was
And
fun.
Data.
And like, Data was funny.
But Brandon.
Yeah,
Oh, Brandon.
yeah. He was.
Oh,
he was so cute.
He was so. I never understood.
You know what?
him
He's still really good looking.
I know.
He really is.
I
he
know.
really is.
Married to Diane Lane, right?
Is he married? I don't know who he's married to.
I think he's married to Diane Lane.
Okay, all right.
And his dad is James Brolin, who's married to Barbara Streisand.
Yes. And
But-
he looks just like his dad.
Identical.
Like, it's crazy.
Identical.
It's crazy. And, one of the things, and going back to Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, the movie Dream Little Dream.
Never saw that movie.
Okay. The soundtrack to that, right? MTV, when they were doing all their music videos before they started doing all the reality TV and all the other stuff, they played the song Rock On, the music video Rock On, and it was Michael Damian.
I love that
And
song.
Corey Haim and Corey Feldman were in that video.
Were they really?
Yes.
I don't see.
Okay.
Spinning Wheel of Death right here. I should know
So
that.
this
I
is
love
what
that song.
This is what I remember because I was in 6th grade. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I was in 6th grade.
I'm so old.
I had Michael.
I'm so old.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
No, you're not.
Oh my God.
Stop
I was
it.
in high school. Oh, no, I might have been.
No, you're not. No, you were. No.
I think I was out of high school.
I wasn't. No, stop it. Yeah, it was your senior year. It was your senior year.
I was out of high school. 6th grade. All right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're the sweetest
I'm
baby
sorry,
in
I'm
the
sorry.
world. Oh
But-
my gosh.
So my 6th grade teacher had a stereo like this, right? And every day at the end of class, like if we were good students, like the last however hour or two of class, he would let us play music. All of the other kids in my class forgot to bring music all the time. So what did Melissa do? Yes, this is what Missy did. I brought Wham, I brought Michael Damian, I brought all kinds of music, Bon Jovi, and that's just what we listened to. And New Kids on the Block. I mean, that was when Hangin' Tough was out.
I was a little old for New Kids on the Block, but I didn't mind their music. But I was not.
Right.
I was more like.
Well,
stoner
I
rock
mean,
chick.
at that point, I think Joey probably would have been a little too young for you.
I think that my friends from Big Bear would have kicked my butt if I
Right.
was listening to the New Kids on the Block. It was seriously like they were like all into AC/DC.
Yeah.
The hardcore ones
Right.
were into like Pantera and stuff like that.
Okay, 9 Inch Nails.
But, yeah, but for me in the 80s, it was like, I loved all the, like, I don't know if you remember, like, oh gosh, I want to say the Mighty 690, but that was way before your time. Kiss FM.
Yeah.
Listen to KLOS.
KLOS, Mark and Brian in the morning. They were my
love
favorite.
me, Mark and Brian.
Do you remember when they did the skydiving?
Where they dropped Elvis's off?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Elvis's, but the Bob's Big Boys.
Yeah, yeah.
They drop them like
Yeah.
Frank and Elvis.
Yeah.
Or not Elvis. Why am I saying Elvis? They dropped off Bob's Big Boy Elvis somewhere. I
Yeah.
don't remember where. And then they did a Frankenstein Bob. And then they did, like, they would dump them.
They were so crazy fun. I loved them together.
Oh my gosh. Mark and Brian were
Oh, and then
two
they.
of my favorites. I got pulled over on their Freeway Love Connection.
That's right.
I
Oh my
did.
gosh. Okay, tell everybody.
I
You guys
did.
have to. You guys are gonna
So,
just love this.
I moved out when I was way too young and lived in Simi Valley with my boyfriend, lots of circumstances. But I was always listening to Mark and Brian to keep me company while I commuted to Big Bear to go to school once a week to drop off my homework. And it was really early in the morning, 3-hour drive, and listening to Mark and Brian. And I had my cat Nikki in the car with me, and he always sat on my shoulders, and he was the sweetest kitty. But I hear this guy's son's coming up, and I'm driving my way up to Big Bear, 16 years old, to go do my thing. And I hear Mark and Brian call, and this guy's like, there's a girl on the freeway, and she's got a cat in the car. And I'm going to try to pull her over. And I'm like, who else would have a cat in the car? And I'm looking around like an idiot. It's like, she's driving a red truck. And I'm like, I'm driving a red truck. And I see this guy like waving at me. This is like way before, I don't know how he had a phone, but he had a phone. Like he called in.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
he was in like a Mercedes. So
Yeah.
at that time, nobody
Well, they
had cell
had-
phones.
they had
so he had
those-
like a
yeah.
cord like cell phone. So I'm like, oh my God, he's like telling me pull over, and normally I wouldn't do that. And Mark and Brian were like, hey, he's like, why do you have a cat in your car? And all this. I'm like, I travel with my cat to keep me company. And then the guy, they're like, will you go out with I don't know his name. Let's call him Mike. And I'm like, well, no, I have a boyfriend, and go eat dinner, Duke. And Willie, go eat. And Mark and Brian were really disappointed with me because I wouldn't go out with the dude that tried to pull me over. But I felt really, really honored to be part of the whole Mark and Brian freeway dating thing that they did. It was Freeway Love Connection is what it was.
That is so much fun.
And I remember that to this day, that this guy was flagging me down. And had I not been listening to the radio, I just would have thought he was a psycho and probably kept going. But that day I pulled over.
Should have.
Yeah, that day I pulled over.
As you should have.
That day I pulled over.
At least you were safe because they were listening.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people listening with you, and
but
they
they
knew where you were.
booed at me when I said no. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but I have a boyfriend, and I
Yeah.
live with him, and I was like, can't do that, and I did the right thing. And
No,
didn't
that's
want to
awesome.
go cheat on my boyfriend, but
That's
it was cool that Mark and Brian, I was part of that.
Well, Mark and Brian were always just so much fun, and I got to be a part of their show a couple of different times too, and one of them I probably will not talk about. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I mean, it was good. It was funny, but I don't want to throw myself under the bus. Maybe.
No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Oh my God.
Come on! I told you about my Freeway Love Connection.
Okay.
fiasco.
Well, okay. It's all music related, right? It's all fun. I was broke. I had no money, and Def Leppard was coming to town.
Oh.
I wanted tickets really, really, really bad. And they were like, you got to be creative. Call us with something creative. Make it good. And I was like, I don't know what to do. All these people are doing like trivia and other things. And I was like, I don't have any good ideas other than, one that probably would get me arrested. Or, well, because my first thought was maybe I could stand on a street corner, like with like signs, like picket signs, and have like be in like one of those big silver buckets and have big old bags of sugar and have people pour sugar on me so that I could get, that was one of my things. But then I was like,
you went to great lengths.
I did. But then I was like,
I was not that creative.
I was like,
I
no.
went and bought tickets at Ticketmaster. I stood in line in Village Music and Big Bear and bought tickets for things. You're creative.
Well, I was afraid that nobody would help me out, and I just looked like this complete idiot on a street corner by a gas station somewhere, and that people were just going to be driving by honking and not actually helping me out with my challenge. So what I did was I kind of bluffed a little.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to make myself sound really innocent here.
What did you do?
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't bluff a little. I called up Mark and Brian, and Priva was the girl who answers the phone and screens everybody.
She's like, "What's up, Missy?"
And I was like, "Listen, I really want these Def Leppard tickets, and I don't think they'll, give them to me. But what if I gave them the tops to all of my marijuana plants, because those are supposed to be the best buds, right? I am not a smoker."
Why did you have all the marijuana plants?
Because for somebody like me, it was pure profit. And when you're poor,
oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, I'm
not judging.
I'm good at growing plants.
Dude, everyone I knew back then.
Okay,
Except for me, smoked.
I have a green thumb, and somebody said, "Hey, you should try this." So I took some seeds
you have
from
a green thumb?
I have a green thumb.
I have
yes.
a black thumb.
So
if I look at a plant, it will die.
So Priva put me on the radio because she thought it was hysterical.
Oh, dear
so
Lord.
I offered the guys the tops to all of my plants, and said that if they would give me the tickets, that I would just give them all the tops to all my plants, and it would be great. And they were like, "Well, we would love to do that, but you see, that would be considered a drug deal, so we're not allowed." And I was heartbroken. I was like, "Dang, I thought that was good." So they never disconnected my call. And they tell you to stay on the phone until it's disconnected, right? So I just kind of stayed on the phone, and then they were like, that was just really good and really fun. And we couldn't do that deal because it would look bad, but she put in so much effort. Let's just bring her back on the phone. And they were like, we feel so bad that we can't make that deal. We're just going to go ahead and give you the tickets anyway.
Oh.
And I was so excited. And at the time, I was working home health care. And I had this little 91-year-old woman, and she heard me screeching, and I was so excited. And she was there for the whole thing. And so I did this in front of this woman, and I loved her. Her name was Billy Booker. She was the best. And so we just celebrated that I got these tickets for free, because literally I was broke. I had nothing to my name. So that was one of the most fun ones. And then the other time, it was for Bon Jovi tickets, and I pranked my mom. and my mom cried on air, and she wouldn't admit that she was crying because Brian was like, "Mom, are you crying?" She's like, "No, I'm not crying. I'm fine."
Oh my gosh, seriously?
Yeah.
What did you prank her?
Well,
Wait.
my baby girl wasn't a year old. She was about 10 months old, and I told my mom that my daughter's father got a job transfer to White Plains, New York, and that we were moving in
Dude,
3 weeks before her first birthday, and it was absolutely awful. I felt so bad. My mom cried, but you know what? I got those Bon Jovi tickets too. It was worth
I
it.
needed to be more creative in the 80s.
It was worth it. Hey, you know what?
Duke, no, you're not eating Yoda. Get over here.
He is very excited about
He wants
the
to eat
props
Yoda. Dude,
here.
I'm so sorry. He's so disruptive.
And look,
Scooby-Doo.
he's part of the 80s. He's got his Scooby-Doo mystery machine little
I
collar
know.
on.
Say hi. Say hi.
Yes, he's talking.
Scooby-Doo.
He's talking.
Duke, say hello to everyone.
Yes. Is that your favorite 80s? You know,
He
is that
wants to eat
the
Yoda. Get
Scooby-Doo
over here.
episodes?
Come on, come and sit with Mama. Come on. I am sorry. Thanks.
Duke and Willie Nelson,
I'm like
everybody.
yes, this is, I'm Dr. Doolittle.
He's like, I want my mama. And
Oh
this
my
one's like,
gosh.
no, you can't have her.
You know.
He's a little jealous. isn't he?
You be nice. Yeah, you.
Okay.
You're supposed to be the nice one and you're the mean one.
Yeah, well, you know,
All right.
dogs will be dogs.
Oh my gosh.
As-
Anyway, I
as we know.
apologize. What would it be in this
Yes.
house without a little chaos, right?
Right?
You need to stop eating Yoda and you need to stop yelling at your brother.
And
Okay.
we need to talk about not only movies, but how about some of those 80s TV shows with their soundtracks? Miami Vice.
It's
Okay.
classic. And in The Wedding Singer, they use
Oh
that.
my gosh,
They
yes.
open the doors to the DeLorean. and
Yes,
that's all
yes.
you listen to.
And well, the Drew Barrymore's like fiance in that movie
And
acts like Don Johnson. He
that's-
like wants to be Don
Oh,
Johnson.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, how are you going to get married? You're going to miss Miami Vice. He's like,
Yeah.
rerun.
Yeah. It was such a
Great movie.
It was great, and
movie.
Billy Idol was in that, which was
Oh,
so
yeah.
much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Sandler movies. Do you not just feel like the Adam Sandler movies are always the best? Like no matter
His
what.
soundtracks are my favorite. I
They're
love Grown Ups
fantastic.
for that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all just fun.
He's and
Billy
Adam
Madison.
Sandler, like he's like Jack Black to me. They can sing. They can genuinely
They are
sing.
talented.
They are so talented.
I remember him on Saturday Night Live when he did Opera Man. That
Yes.
was one of my
Oh my
favorites.
gosh, Opera Man was great.
So
That was
funny.
great.
So funny. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
It's funny.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
young Adam Sandler. It's funny.
You know which other one I like is when Jim Carrey played Vanilla Ice.
I
you
don't know if
oh.
I've seen that. I like Beard DeMilo.
Okay, all right.
Did you ever see that one?
No.
On Mad TV?
Mad TV? No,
She would go, it was a chick taking steroids. It was
No.
the best. Look it up.
Now see.
I thought it was Mad TV. It might have been in Living Color. See,
I know.
Spinning Wheel of Death. Carrie,
Exactly.
where are you
But
when
this
I
is
need you?
this is what we do. This is absolutely what we do.
Absolutely.
But the amount of shows and entertainment that were available in
Yeah.
the 80s, everything was colorful. Like Dave TV. I
Oh.
loved watching Dave TV
Love Dave
on
TV
MTV.
too. It
That was so
really
much fun.
good. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
And you know the whole vibe back then, everything was happier.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
was just happy times, happy music, bright colors,
Yep.
Zinca on your nose.
Oh my gosh! And on the top seat,
Everyone smelled like coconut.
we did.
It was everyone smelled
Everyone
like
smelled like, and now it's like, do you find yourself looking for those
coconut.
ones
Oh, I do.
so that when you go to the beach, like
I do.
Yeah.
My car still smells like
Yeah.
coconut if I can help it
Those
because it
are-
reminds me of the 80s.
those are absolutely the best. I love
Yes.
it. I think the only one I've found recently that actually smells like that is the Tropicana sun tanning oil. That's the one that smells like the most
I
original.
use it. I
Yeah.
use it all the time.
It's-
Every
it's
summer
fantastic.
I buy it and I don't use any sunscreen.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing about some
don't.
sunscreens, people.
don't use
Please,
it.
please read your packages. Like, the amount of chemicals in some of those things are
toxic.
just not good for you at all. Like,
I just
really,
and, you know, and to each their own. If you want to use
Yeah.
it, use it. I prefer no sunscreen.
just be careful.
I have a
because-
recipe for tanning since
Yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
It's 90 degrees. Slather with coconut oil. Turn every 30 minutes until golden brown.
There you go. You heard it from
My
Lila.
recipe for tanning.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Just don't use baby oil.
Yeah,
Baby oil will cause you to burn.
Or iodine in your baby oil, which we used to do before your time.
Really?
Oh yeah, and then we lay out on a shiny silver mat
Oh my
that
goodness.
would reflect the sun.
Did you get like blisters and
With
stuff?
I don't blister. I think I have skin that was
Okay.
made out of beef jerky because I don't burn. I don't. I get a little pink and then I just turn black.
I already got my first sunburn of the season because I was outside
You don't
doing...
burn. You get so dark.
Oh, BS. I burn bad.
I've never seen you burn.
I burn bad. I've gotten 3rd-degree blister burns. In fact, when I got my tattoo on my back, I did it over a sunburn. I didn't know I had blisters. I have
You have a
scars
tattoo
from
on your
blisters.
back?
I have a tramp stamp, you guys. Yeah,
I was just gonna say.
I do. I have a tramp stamp, and I got my neck and my spine. Yeah, I got it. I have Bon Jovi's signature on my back. Yes.
Is that your tramp stamp? Did he sign it
No.
himself?
He signed his. Yeah, he signed my back.
Did he sign your butt?
Not my butt.
Did you tattoo where he signed your back?
Yes. Yeah.
We have a big Bon Jovi
Yeah.
fan over here.
He actually rubbed my back first. He said, "Wow, you're one crazy woman, aren't you?"
Oh,
and I
my
said,
Lord.
"Just for you." And then he signed it, and
No, but that's sweet.
it was really sweet. And then talk about embarrassing moment when you meet somebody that has been a hero for you, just somebody who has been a huge part of your life. And you meet them, and then you're walking away, and you realize they still have the Sharpie in their hand that was yours, and you want your Sharpie back. But you tell them they can keep it as a memento of you
But
instead.
you really want it because they were holding it?
I told him, I was like, because he held it up like a wise ass. Like, he's that.
I've never met
Oh,
Bon
he's
Jovi.
so funny. He's so sweet, so funny. And he held it up like this Sharpie, and with just this smirk on his face. And I said, well, now, if you want to keep it as a memento of me, you're more than welcome to. He cracked up laughing and handed it back. But it was the best moment. Like, I hope, you meet a lot of people. I meet a lot of people. We all meet lots of people.
I know no one.
You can't possibly remember every single person.
I do not have the list that this woman has with meeting people, honest to goodness.
No, what? You're crazy.
No, I'm
No,
not.
you've met a lot of people in your lifetime. Don't tell me you haven't. Everybody has. I'm not talking celebrities. I'm just talking
Oh, I know
everybody.
a lot of people. I know a lot of people.
But you meet a ton of people, a ton of strangers.
Every day.
Okay,
Especially when I'm at, like, Target.
Of course, you're going to remember the celebrities, but are you going to remember the person you met in the grocery store?
I do.
3 weeks ago.
I do. If they're a standout, nice person, I do.
Okay, all right.
do. I remember
I don't
people.
think John would ever in a million years remember me, but I think he might remember my tattoo.
Honey, he would remember.
Oh no,
you.
I don't think so.
He would remember.
I don't think so. I at least don't want to be remembered for the wrong reasons, and I was so embarrassed during that moment. Like, out of all the things that could have come out of my mouth, that was so stupid. So dumb.
No.
But before that, we took our group photo, you guys. Oh, this is such a female moment. I had a purse, and I had a record in my bag, and I had those disposable cameras, right? Well, as a female, what else did I have in my bag? Tampons and pads, right? That's what we do. Yeah. Yes. I'm
Did
trying.
the tampons fall out?
I'm trying. So
Oh,
can
no.
I don't know if I can stand up.
Missy.
No, you guys don't even know.
No.
you don't even know. So,
No, Missy. No.
so I pulled out the Sharpie for him to sign my tattoo. Well, it's a group photo. All of a sudden, everybody has shit out everywhere. You didn't even see their stuff in with them because they said no signatures. You couldn't see that anybody was carrying anything. They start pulling that out everywhere, just out of the woodwork, right? So I'm like, I've got a record in my bag, and I'm trying to not take my eyes off of John, and I can't reach into my bag to get the record. So I try to bend down, and as I do it, I dump the pads, the tampons, the camera, everything on his feet.
You don't want to drop tampons and pads on your items.
I just hope he didn't see what I dropped off. So then I'm trying to pick everything up, and I'm trying to not take my eyes off him. And finally I'm like, I can't do this. I can't reach the floor. So I'm bending down, picking everything up, putting it in, and then all of a sudden I feel two hands
What were you
underneath
doing
me.
with pads in your purse?
Because it was a very long event. I didn't have pockets. I was wearing a little cocktail dress because I thought it'd be cute. And I wanted him to sign my back, so my dress had like no back. And so I had no pockets. I had a purse with my record and my pads in it.
Missy,
So stupid. So
No.
stupid. I really hope. Yeah.
Well, I had a moment where
So.
my boyfriend at the time that I lived with, his mom was dating a guy that was with a lighting and sound company back in the day, and we were fortunate enough to go to a Whitesnake rehearsal. And my boyfriend was a huge, huge Whitesnake fan. So we go to the sound studio. It was like a big moment. Like we could show up and we're just kicking back and we're like trying to evaporate, and just watch what they're doing. And I'm 17 years old going, this is the coolest thing ever. And all of a sudden, about an hour in, David Coverdale walks right up to me and says, like in his most, I'm not going to even try the British accent with David Coverdale because it's so debonair. But he's like, hi, what are you, nice to meet you. I'm David. Are you guys enjoying yourselves and whatever? And I was like, yes. And, he was married to Tawny Katane at the time. And it was just, they were fabulous.
Yeah.
And he started asking me questions. And I made this comment because my boyfriend at the time was a freestyler. It was the 80s. So it was like riding ramps and doing the whole thing. I'm like, my boyfriend rides his bike to your music. And I swear to God, my boyfriend looked like he was going to choke me. He was like, why did you do that? And David looked at me in the sweetest voice ever, though, and he goes, I'll sleep better tonight knowing that.
And your boyfriend
But he gave me a hug, and he was like, you idiot. And then his mom was like, it was so good you said that because you kept him talking, and she got a kiss out of him. So she was thrilled because he asked if she wanted an autograph, and she said, no, but I'd love a kiss. And so he kissed her. She was like, thank you for keeping him here. I got to kiss David Coverdale.
Yeah.
But, man, my boyfriend was
so pissed.
Mad. He was like, why would you say that? And I was like, I just was nervous talking. I don't know, but you do ride your bike to his music. Yeah. So I still to this day think of Doug Randazzo every time I hear Still of the Night and he hits the ramp. So it's in my brain. So
well, and those moments don't go away. And I am telling you, like, I don't know when. I don't think I'll ever recover from the embarrassment during that.
Dropping pads and tampons.
But I will say one of the sweetest moments though was when that all happened and I had to finally take my eyes off him just so I could clean up the floor and put everything back in my bag.
Oh, honey.
He grabbed he both hands, underneath me, and he stood me up in front of him for the picture. So in our group photo, you see I'm just standing right in front of him and I've got my stuff.
Holding you up.
And he had it was the sweetest moment, and I'll never forget. And before that, I finally got to say the one thing that I had wanted to say to him, my entire childhood, which I'm not going to repeat here, because you guys don't need to see that. Because
I want to see it. I want to see the picture.
No,
We're going to
I'll show you the picture
post
for
picture
sure.
Here.
Yeah, I'll show you guys the pictures. But it was such a cool moment. It was such a cool, and that's why.
I think that's sweet. I'm only teasing you.
And that's why I included this. Okay, Young Guns 2 came out in 1990. But John Bon Jovi did, I know the music was done before that. I know it was filmed before that. So in my opinion, this was still like 80s, era movie, right? Sure. And the music. So, and this one is still sealed, you guys. I am such a collector. I have another one at home that's open. But, so I wanted to bring this. This is absolutely, if you had to say what movie has your absolute favorite soundtrack, well, obviously it's going to be this one because it's all John Bon Jovi. Mm-hmm. And fun trivia. If somebody can guess it, I will send you something. I don't know what it's going to be, but if somebody can guess it in the comments, I want to know who was the guest star in the video for, was it Miracle? I think it was Miracle. It might have been Blaze of Glory. There was a celebrity guest star on a motorcycle in the video for one of these songs. So I think it was Blaze of Glory.
I would not know the answer to that.
It was somebody. Well, he also did a ketchup commercial. I'll just say that he was on a very famous TV show that everybody loves. It's got its own cult following, and he was in a ketchup commercial. I bet Carrie would know. Carrie, if you know, I'm going to send you something special. But the first person who answers that correctly, I will send you guys something special. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I will send you something.
I will say that this is a phenomenal soundtrack right here, though. I love Prince, too.
Mm-hmm. And wasn't the movie good?
It was so good. Very moving. Yeah. But the soundtrack is amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
And that's one of my faves, too. So I have to catch up on Young Guns, too. I'm going to watch that.
And he makes a cameo in the movie, John
Okay,
does.
well, oh, really? He was also in that movie. Was it Vampires? The second one? Was it Vampires? I want to say
Vampires Los Muertos.
He was in that
one. I have
the
it.
first one was with Spinning Wheel of Death. Help me out. James Woods.
Yes.
Good move.
Yes.
Okay, and this one, fun fact. I was on drill team in, I'm not even going to say what year, 7th grade?
Okay, yeah, we don't have to talk years anymore. It's
Sounds
just in the
great.
80s.
And Wake Me Up Before You Go Go
Mm-hmm.
was our song. And I still remember the dance, and no, I won't do it. And you're welcome. Because it was bad. But we
That's
made up a
fun.
dance to that when I was on drill team in junior high school. And so that song,
Okay.
even though I was a Duran Duran girl, it was kind of like
Yeah.
Wham versus Duran Duran.
But
It
Wham
was almost
was
like
just-
two different camps.
Yeah.
I still cheated on Duran Duran with
Oh.
a little bit of Wham. I like Wham.
Wham is
But
fantastic.
Duran Duran was like, told you, John Taylor.
Yeah.
John Taylor.
And we just discovered that our favorite song on this album was the same. And we discovered this, what, like a week and a half, 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
didn't even know.
Had no clue. And yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
same song, and it's obscure. It's not one of the mainstream songs.
not at all.
It's not one of the ones you would think. And if you can
No.
guess it, we'll send you something else.
Ooh, I almost said it.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. I have.
Guess it right, and we'll think of something fun to send you. I don't know
Yeah.
what it'll be. It might be
Yeah.
my scrunchie. I don't know, but we'll find something.
We'll
fun.
find something.
We'll
We're
find
gonna give you guys
I'm
something.
just kidding. We'll find you something fun, maybe some Wham
Absolutely.
memorabilia. If you can think of what song it is. My sister Carrie, you can't answer that because you know what it is.
Well, Carrie's allowed to answer mine.
No, because if she knows mine,
But she can answer mine.
but Carrie will know
Yeah,
mine.
she can't
So
answer yours.
no, because we have the same one. She's
Right.
gonna go, oh, it's this.
No. I'm talking about the other question about the
Oh
video.
yeah,
the
no.
cameo
She can
appearance.
answer that.
She can answer my
She
gun,
that.
Young
She
Guns
might know it.
question.
She might know it.
Purple Rain. Did you get to go to the show? Because I heard so many amazing things about his tour, his Purple Rain
I
tour.
did
you get
not.
to go?
I never saw Prince.
Oh.
But I wish I would have.
So when those memes come up on social media, like if you could, bring one musician back from the, I don't like saying it.
It would be. I would definitely. He'd be in my top 3.
Mine would be George Michael, 100%.
He would. I love George Michael
Yeah, I
too.
didn't get to
Prince
see
would be
him.
in my top 3.
Okay, yeah,
So,
definitely,
up there for
definitely.
sure.
All right.
I'm with you on
I
that.
mean, we had to bring out the best, you guys, for this, and then
Olivia, I almost named Asia Kira after Xanadu. My husband at the time wouldn't
Olivia
let me.
Newton-John.
Love
God
me,
rest her
Olivia.
soul,
I
man.
love her.
I
love
hate
Olivia.
that she is no longer with us.
Breaks my heart.
She is one of my all-time favorite female
Mine too.
singers.
Mine
When
too.
I saw her in Grease, when I was, that was like my favorite movie as a kid.
Mine
you know,
too.
I'd watch Grease. I'd watch The
Xanadu.
Goonies.
Oh, I love Xanadu too, though.
Xanadu
as
is
corny
so
and
much
awful
fun.
as Xanadu is, I love Xanadu.
I know.
Love Grease,
Yeah.
and I loved her like totally hot.
Yeah.
You were not even a glimmer at that point. I'm old, I'm telling you, but I'm saying that there was a lot of early Olivia that you probably really liked. It
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah.
And she was just beautiful and sweet, and Duke's whipping me in the face.
Yes.
Come and sit down with
Well,
me.
hi, Duke.
Dukeus.
How are you? How are
He's-
you? He's just like, I'm gonna knock
They
over all
just
the
make
tapes.
themselves at home.
You
I
know what?
apologize. He
But-
loves the 80s too.
Look it. We like real life. You guys like real life, right? And we all love pets, and they have a mind of their own. And you just didn't want me to feel left out, did you?
We love people
Oh,
and
see, he's
pets,
talking.
and Duke says hello.
What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Dukey, say hello.
Huh? What's yours?
Say hello.
What about Wayne's World? Could we talk about Wayne's World? I know that was 90s.
Dude, Bohemian Rhapsody in that movie
But, yeah.
was epic. I, for years, would headbang because of that.
Okay, but you
Threw my neck out. Still, I don't do it anymore. I'm too old. But I used to throw my neck out every time.
everybody has done it.
Because
Generation after,
oh, yeah.
I mean, just everybody has done it.
yeah.
And I don't see that ever going away because of that
Party
movie.
time. Excellent.
Yep. Oh my gosh. All right, are there any ones we didn't really touch on? I mean, there's Spring Break
Well,
here.
there's so many. We were talking
There's
about
so
Hard
many.
Bodies, and Hard
Yes.
Bodies was near and dear to my heart. Again, I keep talking about Candace. I think she just keeps like hanging out or something. But there was a Lila, a Candy, and a Scoey in that
Right.
movie, and two of my best friends growing up were Candy and Scoey, and I was Lila. So we'd watch Hard Bodies.
How crazy.
And the best part was one day, my very, very hot English teacher, after I had ditched school all week and tanned and pretended to be sick, because I had ditched frequently in those days, showed up. We were watching Hard Bodies, and I'm sitting around, 17 years old, and, covered in coconut oil, and we've been hanging out and having a good day. Shows up to pick up his son Casey, who was our friend, and he walked in and he goes, my maiden name was Kersavage, and he said, Miss Kersavage, it's so nice to see that you recovered from your flu this week. Like your tan. We were watching Hard Bodies. I'll never forget it. And I was like, nice to see you, Mr. Rice. He was so fine. I mean, my friend Dawn actually named her first son after him. He was
really
so good looking.
Oh, that's so sweet.
We all had a crush on that teacher. He was amazing. Nice guy, loved his wife, but he was beautiful.
There was when we were doing our Indie Country Showdown, I think you were there that night because your daughter was doing my makeup.
Yes.
And they were filming behind the scenes stuff, and they were talking about like, was there a teacher you had a crush on?
Brad Rice.
And I blurted mine out, right? Somebody who she was our band mom, right? She reached out to me on Instagram.
She did not.
And she was like, hey, that teacher is living here now, and this is where they're at on social media.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So I immediately went and followed. I reached out to him. He reached out to me back. Like I sent the friend request, whatever. And
that was since that show?
Since that show.
You didn't tell me that.
Yes. And so, anyways, what I remembered about my teacher was, I mean, he was so nice, so kind, so sweet, beautiful person inside out. Him and his wife were expecting a baby.
Oh.
Their firstborn was born on my birthday, and I just
up.
felt like so special, right, because of that. And so getting to reconnect has just been so much fun, and it's like all of my favorite teachers from when I grew up, we're all friends on Facebook now.
I've got,
and it's just
I've
so
got
much.
a few.
It's so much fun. I love it.
And mine are still up in Big Bear, Brad.
Yeah.
And there's one I was gonna name Asia after her, with the middle name Elena, but Elena was one of my best teachers. And
Yeah.
you know, when you have good teachers like that, you just hold them near and dear to
They
your
don't
heart.
go away because
Never.
part of who you are is because of them, and
Yes.
it's just it's such a fantastic feeling when you get to stay in touch with somebody who's made an impact on your life.
Oh, yeah.
And more impacts on lives and more teachers. Okay, we have to go back to Top Gun. He falls in love with his teacher, right? His instructor.
He does. He does.
And I feel like we didn't touch enough on that soundtrack.
That's one of my favorites too, and I take my breath away.
Yes, Berlin, right? And Terry Nunn?
Yes.
Terry Nunn. Okay.
Is it none or noon? None.
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 None?
None.
Okay, that's
Carrie. It's none, right? It's
okay.
None.
All right.
She's going loud.
I
Stop
know.
it.
Well,
I can
okay.
hear my sister.
Well,
right now.
here's the thing. I got to meet her and interview her, and then watch her perform that song live. What a beautiful woman.
Oh, I love her.
Inside and out, she was so kind, so patient,
Berlin
so
is
sweet,
amazing.
and her voice. Her voice is still just impeccable.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Oh yeah, love her.
So good.
Love her.
And then, okay, Kenny Loggins.
Danger Zone.
Oh my gosh. And didn't that song have a resurgence when Maverick came out? And like, what an amazing thing.
When
for
you hear
him.
it, you can see the jets taking off.
Yes.
And it's just like, it puts lead in your pencil if you had a pencil.
Right? Right.
Which
Right.
You know, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, it gets you pumped up.
Yeah, and what a great sequel, because I think there are so many movies that come out, and then when the sequel comes out, you're like really excited.
I didn't know, like, I was really, like, reticent on the sequel for Maverick because there's been so much time. But, oh my gosh,
Did
I
you
loved.
cry?
I did.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
I did. I loved Maverick.
Yeah, it was
It was so well done.
good.
It was so well done.
And
if you haven't
all of
seen it, go see it. It
all
was
of the
it was
young
amazing.
actors in that film were just fantastic.
Brilliant. It was brilliant.
They were
It was
so
such
good.
a great
Miles
movie.
Teller. Oh God, he's so. I mean, and I loved him and all of the Divergent like series movies
Oh, yeah.
that they.
Oh, yeah.
He was like that snarky, sarcastic ass you love to hate, but you love him, and he grows on you, and you're like,
You know?
he's just but every movie I've seen him in, I've absolutely adored him.
He owns it.
I think he's one of the greatest actors of at least our kids' right generation.
Right.
I think he's one of the greatest
he's great.
greatest young actors out there. He's fantastic. And I also didn't touch on my one of my absolute favorite movies too from the 80s, but it was like later 80s.
Okay.
And that's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Party time.
Okay,
No, my favorite.
I have Bill and Ted socks on right
Gus.
now.
When?
Yes.
Dude.
And the whole, what
So
number am I
crates.
thinking? Yes, so crates in the Remember that when you watch that movie and you see their pudding, like with the pudding cans when they're trying to repair the
Oh my
phone
God.
booth?
The
Pudding
pop
used
pudding.
to come in cans, you guys.
tin
No,
pop
those
tops on them.
Yes, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, look at wait.
The strange things afoot at the Circle K.
Oh, I say that all the time.
Oh my God. Keanu. Oh,
Yep.
dear Keanu.
Can you see that? Can you see that
Oh,
on camera, you guys?
he says hello.
That is my
Hello.
TED Talk. Wait,
I
that's
love
Ted
it.
Theodore Logan.
I
Hold
love
on.
it.
You guys, I
Don't
did
get my
this
white
on
legs
purpose, and I'm sorry. Just Missy's getting undressed here, but look, there's Bill.
She's stripping. Oh, we got Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
Oh, we got Ted. We got Bill.
Bill and Ted. Yep. Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan. What were they?
My God.
Do you
So
remember
good.
their band?
Oh, Wild Stallions.
Wild Stallions, yeah. And they loved Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a great
Greatest-
movie. Great
one
movie.
of the greatest guitar players of the
Great.
of
Eddie
our
Van
time.
Halen?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
I only met him once. Really nice. He was with Valerie. I worked at a
Yes.
roller rink when I was 13 in Big Bear, and they came in. And
Of course you did.
I got
Look
to
at
say
you.
hello. I got to say hello, and it was a proud moment.
Oh my
They
gosh.
were very sweet.
They are. I'm so envious that you got to meet him because
It was brief,
but still.
but it was a moment.
But still.
I know,
Like,
Eddie is-
he had
he's
one of
iconic.
those smiles where he was just like a giant child. Like, seemed like so nice, so sweet, so fun.
One of those songs I was going to talk about from
Mm-hmm.
the 80s, from 1984, Jump. That
Yes.
song, when I hear that song come on, it fills me with joy.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah. He had
Love
so much fun. Oh, and we didn't talk about Footloose.
Love Footloose.
You guys, there are so many great 80s movies soundtracks, and if there's some that we didn't talk about that are your favorite, please let us know in the comments what
babble.
your favorite. Well, no, we're just having a conversation.
We're babbling.
And we're taking a walk down memory lane. We're not babbling.
We
We're sharing. They
Oh,
want to hear our stories.
Well, holding out. What's the song? I'm holding out for here. It was Bonnie type. No, was it Bonnie? Okay, was it holding out for a hero? Holding on.
Hold on. I don't know.
I know the song. Spinning Wheel of Death. I don't know what is wrong with. It's the hair dye.
Listen, maybe it's a ponytail.
It
Maybe mine's my hair clip. Maybe it's too
Hairspray?
tight. Too tight. Too much hairspray. We're
Hairspray?
clogging our
I
stuff here.
don't know, but whatever it is, I wish that it would stop blocking the waves.
Oh my
because
gosh, Church,
I
I love
love that song. My sister would be so. Huh?
Holding out.
Holding out for hero. That song, and he was in the tractor,
Oh.
and he was racing in a
Yes.
tractor, and it was fabulous. But the
Yes.
song was like so
Yes.
funny because he was racing in a tractor.
Okay, you are gonna next time you're at my house, you have to ask my father to do his impression of the mom in Footloose. Because my dad does an amazing impression. Him and my mom crack up laughing at it.
Jim
all
does
the
an
time.
impression of the mom.
It's funny.
I need to see this.
You need to see it.
I might film it and put it in the next episode
Wait, what if we do that? What if I go home
and get it.
and I get my dad to do it, and
gotta
we
get it.
film it, and then we.
We're gonna get Jim to do
it. It's so funny when the daughter is concerned with how she looks, and then the mom's like, "Oh yes, you look good," whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my dad just imitates her, and it's just hysterical. It's
I
so
can't
funny.
wait for that.
But that soundtrack
It was
was
fabulous.
so fantastic, and it was heavily music focused because of the whole like not being able to listen to music in that
Right.
film. You know what I mean? So there was an extra heavy focus on all the music in that particular film, and I just thought it was so great. And then the dance moves were just so much
They
fun.
were fun. It was bad. They weren't allowed to dance, and it was
Yeah.
such a silly concept. But we forgot to mention Dirty Dancing because that soundtrack is amazing.
It is, but real quick, Kevin Bacon.
Love
he's-
Kevin Bacon.
They're closing that school that they filmed Footloose at,
What?
and he is going there for their prom.
When?
This year is their last year.
Where is that?
Well, we'll have to look it up online.
We're gonna have to
We're
go
gonna have
crash
to look
the
it
party.
up. But I just saw it a few days ago. I saw a news article about Kevin Bacon making an appearance
think-
at the very last prom at that particular high school.
We are gonna have to crash the party.
Yeah, 100%.
I haven't met Kevin. I'm sure you have.
I interviewed Kevin.
I knew you did.
I
You interviewed everybody.
Kevin and his brother Michael, and oh my gosh, the Bacon
She
brothers.
knows everybody.
You guys, if you haven't watched the Bacon Brothers, you haven't.
I've never seen the Bacon
We're going to have to do a whole podcast on actors that also have music careers because there are so many.
So many.
And they are all talented. And they're all different. I don't think any two are the same. What? Oh, Rick Springfield. He's another one. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's talk about yours first. Okay, because Dirty Dancing.
Well, the first time I ever heard Rick Springfield, we were roller skating at my friend's house in Big Bear, and Candace's sister Kim. I always talk about Candace. She's got to be with
because
me.
Candace is
we
amazing.
were rolling around on these skates, and she put in Working Class Dog, and I was hooked. And that was my first tape ever, was Working Class Dog, and I had the worst crush on Rick Springfield ever, and I watched General Hospital. Yeah, he was Noah Drake.
Yep.
So
we were just talking about that on the way here.
But Jesse's Girl, all those songs, he was amazing, and I loved Rick. And I met him once at a show, and he was very sweet. He was very sweet. So.
Okay, so I got to
his fans
interview.
are a little cray-cray.
He's got some die-hard fans.
They're a little hardcore.
Oh, he's got some die-hard fans.
Yeah.
Is how I'm going to put that.
They're wild. Those girls are wild.
Yes.
They're protective of Rick.
Yes,
Even if you just want to say hello.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
So I was asked once, what was the...
Sorry.
What was the most...
Our cats don't get along.
What was the most intimidating interview I had ever done? Going into it was my Rick Springfield interview.
Why?
Because I had known him known of him, sang his songs since I was little. Saw him in General Hospital. I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to be interviewing him. It was very early on in my time with the magazine. But I was so nervous. And when I got there, he was nervous. And I immediately was put at ease.
Oh.
And we started sharing battle scars. Like he had an issue that day. I had an issue that day. I was attacked by a dog. So my hand was all bandaged up and bloody. He had tripped. Or he cut his leg,
So you're both injured.
And so we're both
and
he's lifting up his pant legs and I'm showing up. And this is all on camera. And I haven't released any of that, nor would I ever release that. So don't ask because it's not going to happen.
Not going to see that.
Because we didn't plan on that happening.
I'm just glad you guys were both okay, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We didn't plan on capturing that on video, and there's no way in the world I would ever release that.
No.
And that is my memory.
That's cool, though. You bonded.
Yes, and that immediately calmed me down for the interview. And it was a brief interview, but it was so much fun. He cracked a joke that I didn't get, threw it right on the floor, and went home and realized I screwed up, and I should have caught the joke, and then I laughed at myself. My husband was laughing at me. It was great. But he was so super sweet, so nice, very, very kind. I can see why all of his fans, have always been so diehard and
really
protective.
sweet.
He's a good man. I absolutely adore him.
He was really nice. Yeah, he was very nice. And gotta say, he still brought it when I saw him play the show that night. Yeah. He was killing it.
Absolutely.
He did a good job.
Absolutely. And yes, the Urban Cowboy. But we didn't talk about Dirty Dancing enough yet.
Okay. Well,
can we talk about She's Like the Wind, Patrick Swayze?
Love Patrick.
My favorite song on that soundtrack is that song.
Makes me cry.
Yeah.
It makes me cry.
And what? And he wrote it. Yeah, I know he wrote it.
He did write it. He was amazing.
He was just great.
I love Patrick. I was so sad when he died.
I know.
But that whole soundtrack, I can listen to that all day long.
Oh, yeah.
It takes me right back to 1988-ish, 88. But Urban Cowboy, Sissy. But, they were so toxic. They were so toxic. And what a messed up bunch of stuff that was going on with Pam and the whole thing, and making his wife jealous and all this stuff, the home wrecker and the white trash going on right there. But you know what? It's like a train wreck. You can't
stop watching.
Slaps her in the face because she pinched his arm, and they're freaking out. And she's making him jealous with the convict. But the soundtrack was fabulous, and I loved it. I love the soundtrack, but it takes me back where they're fighting over her riding a mechanical bull. Like, seriously, were these the problems of the 80s?
Yeah.
You know, she's just mad because I can ride it better than you. You know, and then he he kicks her out of the house for riding the bull better because she's, it's just like, how silly.
Yeah.
But it's 80s rific ridiculousness.
It is.
And the soundtrack was fantastic. And I loved the whole thing with Gillies and oh gosh, what song was it when they were, I'm trying to remember, they were dancing and it was a spinning, yes, thank you. Spinning wheel, what would I do without you?
Yeah, same thing. I'd do nothing.
I'd
just be sitting here in a,
but it was, I love the sound from beginning to end. I really think I watch it more for the soundtrack now than the movie because the whole like going out and competing on a mechanical bull and all the I'm gonna be around if you ever want to make your wife jealous nonsense, and it's just like so ridiculous. And she's off, like I said, in the trailer with the convict, and it's just like, what a horrible story. But the music is good.
Yes. And you know what? There are so many movies that are not that great, but their soundtracks are just absolutely amazing.
That and Urban Cowboy is one of them.
Yeah. You know what? Spaceballs.
Has a good soundtrack?
Has a good soundtrack. Yeah, Bon Jovi's on it. Yeah, raise your hands.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
That's a great song.
No, but I mean, it was just a slapstick, funny movie, and it really was funny.
Yeah.
But they had really great, fun, upbeat music with it too. It was really fun. Wasn't it like it was? Didn't they spoof Star Wars in that movie? You know?
Oh yeah, they totally did. May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. So I watched Spaceballs, right? Long time ago. I had not seen Star Wars until maybe the last 5 years. I finally saw Star Wars. Oh, no, I don't think no.
Wait, what? Okay, for that, you have to wear Yoda here. Or you have to sit with Yoda.
I have to sit with Yoda?
Apologize to Yoda.
I'm sorry, Yoda.
Tell Yoda you're sorry.
So I remember bits and pieces of like the Return of the Jedi, but I never sat and watched any Star Wars. And I still haven't watched the first ones. I've watched like the Mandalorian TV series and stuff.
No.
But I have not watched
three.
I haven't watched those first
Or The
three.
New Hope, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I haven't.
Return of the Jedi. Those are my three.
That
is. I really won't cheat on those three movies. I am that old that I saw those in the theater, and those are the ones. I even had the McDonald's glasses.
Wait.
You see? Oh
Okay.
my God! High five, Tom.
My mom and dad. You have to understand.
I'm hiding.
I am younger, right? Okay. This is where I'm going to post. I love you.
Oh, thank you.
My
Iridium glasses.
My
1988.
parents didn't take us to the movies to see Star Wars. You know what my mother took me to see?
What?
Hellraiser, Puppet Master, Pet Cemetery.
Nance My Cat Church, by the way.
That's what I got to see.
That's who the cat's named after.
Oh,
Church.
Yes, Church. Yes. That damn cat.
That
Did
movie
I tell you?
is terrifying, by the way.
Okay, going to that movie theater, right? I was like, okay, I want some popcorn. I want a drink. My mom's like, okay, go out and get it. It's during the movie.
Okay.
So I walk out, and I go get my popcorn, and I'm walking back in, and that freaking cat did the jump scare, and guess what Missy does?
Dumps everything everywhere.
The popcorn flew, I fell and rolled
Oh, yeah.
down the thing.
Man, that movie, the book
Scared
was
the
worse
heck
than
out-
the movie on that one.
That-
was terrifying.
same with Misery.
But, again, love the soundtrack.
Yes.
It was a lot. I love the Ramones. So, when they were doing Sheen is a Punk Rocker,
Yep.
even though he ran Gage over listening to that song, and I Don't Want to Be Buried in a Pet Cemetery, I love the Ramones. So, like, I had to disconnect from that.
Yeah.
And also dated a guy whose ex-girlfriend, that little boy,
Yes.
was
He
her
lived in
brother.
Apple Valley.
He was her,
Yeah.
my ex-boyfriend.
He was our neighbor, like-
someone who will not be mentioned, girlfriend's little brother. And
Right.
oh gosh, what was his name? It was, he had a weird name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We'll
doesn't
figure it
matter.
out later. But yeah.
But the kid hated him, so he always would look and go, that kid was like, duh, and I was like, well, whatever. He was adorable, and
He was an adorable
I didn't know him.
yeah.
I just heard that he was mean to
Yeah.
this particular person, and I kind of don't blame him. Yeah,
I get it.
you know, you have those few. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. Gotta love the Dukes of Hazzard.
I mean, just their opening theme song
Oh yeah. Oh,
was fantastic.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yes. Yes.
He's
Yes.
down in
That was 70s though.
No, I'm carrying that with me to the 80s.
Just
it's
like
right here.
I kept this one in the 80s.
Yeah, the
right?
90s landed
So
here, too.
she's allowed one, I'm allowed one. It's
Oh,
fine.
no,
It's fine.
no.
We have to.
Yeah, we have to.
I mean, because now like that we're thinking about it, more and more come to the surface, right? And I bet
Absolutely.
everybody who's watching, like, there's that favorite soundtrack, like the Navy SEAL soundtrack.
It's a soundtrack to your life.
You know, it was great music.
Roadhouse. Is that
Oh,
the 80s? That's
yes,
the 80s.
Yes, that's the 80s.
Yeah,
yes.
that one had it. That
Yeah.
had Angel Eyes from Jeff Healey.
And who doesn't like
Proud?
Sam Elliott?
I got one.
Look at right. But no, man, that I just feel like that decade
It was fabulous.
was just so vibrant.
For people that missed it,
So
I
good.
feel bad.
And then all the breakdancing movies and
Flashdance.
Flashdance. How could we
She's
forget
a maniac
Flashdance?
on
I
the
know.
floor.
I know. When she pulls the yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you remember? Did you ever go to SeaWorld in San Diego?
Of course.
Okay,
I went to SeaWorld.
so
I got
you know
kicked
the,
out of
the
SeaWorld
Sea Lion
once.
and Otter show, for a long time they did the Flashdance scene in the beginning before.
And they pulled the cord?
Yeah, and the water would all fall down on the guy. Like, it
know,
was great. I
and-
have it on video.
And you know that, oh my God, my sister would be so mad at me.
Carrie,
what
don't be
is
mad
her-
at her.
Carrie, don't be mad at me. Richard Marx's wife.
Oh,
Daisy Fuentes.
Daisy Fuentes.
No,
no,
first
the other
wife.
one.
Oh,
In
yes.
Flashdance.
Yes.
She was in Rosanna Toto, the video for Rosanna.
Oh, okay.
She was in Staying Alive too.
She was also in Dirty Dancing.
What? Who was she? Was she Penny?
Yes. Help out
the
here.
blonde. What was her
Come
name?
on, I'm dying here. I know her name.
The one who got pregnant and had the
Uh-huh.
yes.
Richard
Oh,
Marx's
that's right. I
wife.
forgot he was married to her.
Gorgeous.
Cynthia Rhodes.
Cynthia
Cynthia
Rhodes.
Rhodes,
Okay.
yes.
Carrie would be so disappointed in us.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie.
She
It's just like being in high school, having to take
she
a math
was in
test.
Flashdance, and
Yes.
she was one of the ones that was crawling on the stage. Gorgeous dancer. She was
She's a
Rosanna,
beautiful
and
girl.
she was the girl that was
Yeah.
dancing in Rosanna when Toto did Rosanna.
Yes.
Even though that was about Rosanna
Rosanna
Arquette, she
Yeah.
gorgeous dancer.
She
Always
was
wanted to be like her.
So beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
She was
So
also part of the band Animotion.
she was in Animotion. I'm learning something.
Yes, we are.
every day.
Did you
So,
guys know that at home?
I didn't know that. Carrie
Yeah.
probably did.
I'm sure Carrie did. Carrie, you
knows
could just be
everything.
commenting on all of these, answer all of our trivia
she's
for
gonna-
us.
she's gonna be
School
commenting.
us, please. Maybe we should like call her next time. We're
Carrie,
getting
you're
ready
going to
do-
be on with us next time, so you can just answer when
Well-
when I can't remember and when Missy doesn't know.
Exactly. And here's the thing. So next week's show,
My poor sister.
next week's show, we're combining one of my favorite true loves, which is coffee, and music.
Oh,
And
Carrie will have this. This will be money
and
for her.
so there are quite a few coffee songs out in the world
Mm-hmm.
today, and I don't think y'all know, but we're going to be doing a special episode next week because we
We
are
are.
actually going to be going to Columbia, Tennessee, at a place called Town Coffee. They're going to shut down, and then
Right.
they're going to let us film, and we're gonna have some fun stuff for
We're
that
gonna be
episode.
wired on
Maybe
coffee.
just a little,
A
but it's
lot.
okay.
I'm gonna be drinking some
okay.
coffee.
Our May show, one of our May shows is even going to be more wild than that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Stay
it's
tuned
gonna
for
be-
that one.
Yes, for sure. Wait, who are you showing
What
us?
do we got
I'm
cooking?
blind with these
I'm
lights
bl- I
in
don't
my
have my
eyes,
glasses
and you
on.
show me something that looks like a bunch of squished ants.
I can't
Like,
see it.
You can't. Well, here, bring it right here.
can't
Just
see
bring it right here. Come here. Let me see. But he's still trying to zoom, people. Oh, Ghostbusters!
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Great movie. Iconic.
I mean, wasn't Bobby Brown, like, wasn't he in that, like, the whole, he did the Ghostbuster song in the music video.
Bobby Brown didn't do Ghostbusters.
Yes, he,
Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah, it was
no,
Ray Parker Jr.
In the movie, Bobby Brown was in the movie.
Don't
Yes, he
remember
was.
Okay, we're
Yes,
gonna
he was.
have to
I'm gonna
check.
Google this
Do it.
right now. Right,
I don't remember
he was
Bobby
a
Brown.
very, and
I'm not saying he wasn't,
Yes,
but
yes,
maybe
yes,
he
yes.
was. Was
Yes,
it during the like Stay
yes.
Puft Marshmallow Guy part?
no, yeah, he was going into the hotel. It was the Slimer part.
Okay, Ghostbusters 2.
Okay, well, it was still a Ghostbusters
And then I also
movie.
have the dude from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in that one. What
Rick
was it?
Moranis.
Yeah, he was in that one too.
He was in both of them, wasn't
What
he?
is wrong with my brain? I swear I know this stuff. Getting old is really
Yeah.
hard on the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that song from Aerosmith, Falling in Love
See,
is hard on the knees?
on
Getting
our
old is
own
hard on the brain.
from Ghostbusters.
And what?
On our own from Ghostbusters. So.
I love Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
I know he's kind
I just
of a
remember he was
mess.
like the bellhop kid, like at the
I'm a
hotel.
hot mess, but I
mean,
love it.
here's the deal. You're a child star. We talked about it at the beginning of this episode.
We did.
There's a lot of things that go on when you're not in it. You don't know.
Karate
I
Kid!
know. Karate Kid, yeah.
Oh my, what would I do without you?
Yeah. Now, okay, wait. When you watch Karate Kid,
Oh.
do you think of Tom Petty? Because I do every time.
Every time. I love Tom Petty.
Yes. And
I do
living
love
in
Tom
Reseda,
Petty.
and that's where he
I
was
do.
from.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Loving Tom
you
Petty.
know. And Cobra Kai, the Netflix series that
Love me some Billy Zabka.
okay, their music is fantastic too. Like Billy Zabka, first of all, you live close to us. We love you.
European.
And-
God, I miss Jack.
Yeah.
I love
And
some Billy Zabka.
doesn't-
He was just
Doesn't
so
he produce
beautiful.
music here too?
I
And, like,
don't know.
He does.
Billy, I know he's
Produces
he's
videos.
married and he's probably like doing, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
He's great. What a pretty person.
Yes.
And great actor.
And he grew because when he was younger, he looked good, totally fine.
Oh, yeah.
But as he's gotten older,
He's
I
gotten-
think he's
like
gotten
fine
even
wine.
more attractive.
He's so handsome.
Yeah.
And I love him in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, he's
just-
funny, right?
He's amazing, and
Yeah.
he played such a good jerk
Yeah.
back in the 80s.
Oh, he did.
In European Vacation
Yep.
and Karate Kid, he
Yep.
just really played a great jerk.
Yeah, he did.
And,
He
but
did.
I still like all
Yeah.
the girls like the bad boys.
Wasn't
right?
wasn't he the boyfriend of
Audrey?
Audrey,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what she kept saying. God, I miss Jack.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, he was kind of a
He
creep
was-
to
he was
her.
not nice
but
to
boy,
her.
was he a pretty creep.
He was very pretty.
He's cute.
But I think he's just I think he's just absolutely stunning today. Like I feel like
he
he's
did.
just
He aged well.
he aged so
Happiness
well.
has done him well,
Yes.
and
yes.
I'm thankful for that.
And I'm still hoping that one day we run into him in town.
I just want him to say hello. If he signed
Yeah.
my back, I'd tattoo it.
Right?
I would.
Do you see
Love me
people?
some Billy Zabka.
Yeah. No, he makes me laugh. Like
Oh,
he's
he's
so
funny.
funny
He's
in
funny.
Cobra Kai. He just absolutely makes me
Yeah, I'm a
laugh.
huge Billy fan. I
Yeah.
gotta say that, and not
100%.
like in a creepy way, just like
No.
childhood way.
Yeah, and from what I understand, I mean, he's a very well-respected person in town. Everybody loves him who knows
Good
him
guy.
and works with him.
Yeah,
So
good man.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about him.
Yeah,
And
family man. the
okay,
whole
I have to
thing.
tell you a funny story. And Billy, if you're watching, okay, so you know how Comic Cons come out all the time?
Yes.
Well, there was a specific Comic Con that we were supposed to go to, and it was right when COVID like hit right after this, right? So I get approved for this Comic Con. Anthony Michael Hall approves me for an
Oh,
interview with him.
love him.
Right? He emailed me personally.
Farmer Ted.
Yes, Farmer Ted. So I emailed William Zabka, and
Did you say William?
yeah.
How come Billy?
I know. I called them both. But anyways,
going with
but the
William?
email it was through Cobra Kai. Oh my God, he had one of those automatic replies. I think I still have it saved. I laughed so hard when I read this automatic reply because it was like, he's just getting a ton of emails, and he was replying as if he was in character, and it was hysterical. And
You're gonna have to show me that.
I'm gonna have
Share
to
with the
show you.
class.
I'm gonna
You're
have
gonna
to
share
show
with
you
the class.
because, and that's the thing, when you're in our line of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're sending out requests for interviews, you're sending out requests for, press credentials to cover red carpets, whatever the case
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
is. Sometimes you get great responses, sometimes you get absolutely zero response, which, hey, you just,
Win
so
some, you
what, who
lose some.
cares who's next, right?
Right.
You just have to keep
never know.
going. But when I got that reply, that was better than any rejection I ever could have got.
I
that
have
was,
to hear this
It
reply.
was just, it was so funny. I loved it so much.
You
it
need
was
to
great.
share with the class.
I
on that
will.
one.
I will share that with you.
I just adore him.
I have my
just-
Anthony Michael Hall email too, just because it was like,
He's adorkable.
He responded to me personally, and him and his beauty. He just got married.
Oh, good for
And
him.
he just had they just had a baby.
What?
And they are beautiful. Oh, his wife is gorgeous. I will show you. But I've interacted with them quite a few times, and his wife is very, very sweet. She'll message, she'll reply back. She's so sweet. I love her to death. But Anthony Michael Hall is one of those, childhood actors who we all grew up with.
Right.
The Breakfast Club, all of those movies. Right?
I met Emilio Estevez once, very briefly, in Big
Yeah.
Bear. Super sweet guy, so nice.
Right.
And the only other one from the Brat Pack that I met was Judd Nelson.
I love Judd Nelson.
Another Candace story. We were at a
Oh.
celebrity golf tournament, and she started screaming his name, and I was like, he's avoiding you. You're being rude. She was vivacious.
Okay.
And so I told her to stop talking and go up to him and address him as Mr. Nelson to get her autograph. And he appreciated it, didn't know she was the one that was just shouting at him, and said, I appreciate you being thoughtful. Some idiot was just screaming at me, and it drove me nuts. And it was her. It was the same idiot. And so she thanked me later.
So that put her in her place. She was like, oh, God.
She was
Lila.
going, Chad! And I'm like, Candace, stop. Just
Yeah.
stop. Just stop.
You know what? Sometimes something comes over people. I've seen it a million times, and that's why I said earlier, I didn't want John to remember me for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be
No,
remembered
you don't
for
want
the
to be
wrong
a
reason.
standout like that.
No, like,
You want him to remember you for good things.
exactly. So in December, Tommy takes me to go, we went to the Brooklyn Bowl in Nashville. Dog Star was playing. That's Keanu Reeves' band. And I
Love
finally
me
got
some
to meet
Keanu.
him. I was trying to keep it together. He was videotaping me. I was trying to not cry. I was like, oh my gosh. And when we got up, I saw other people just acting a fool. There was this one woman specifically who was just acting a fool. And you could see he was patient, but you could see it
his
was
skin
borderline.
crawling. He was like, get me away from
It
this
was
thing.
borderline like, please stop, because I don't want to lose patience. He never lost patience. He was
But you
very,
could see him cracking.
he was very
The
kind.
seams were splitting a little bit.
He was very kind, very, very, very sweet about it all. But then when everybody gets to go up and meet, now I remember the stories early on when he was in the band in the 90s, right? Because I saw them in 95. He was just becoming really big as a Hollywood actor.
Is that when he was in Point Break?
Yes, 1991, my favorite movie ever on the face of the planet. But
Okay.
he didn't.
Keanu
he
was
didn't want
so
all the.
pretty in that
Oh my
movie.
gosh, he didn't want all the attention. I was going to say that he didn't want all the attention, taken away from the band.
Right.
Right. And so even that day during the meet and greet, he was very calm, very quiet. I didn't know what to say. I had a million things going on in my head. I didn't want to be an idiot, and I was just like, "Hi, how are you?" But his drummer Rob Millhouse, I was totally talking to him, having a story, sharing. We were laughing, and then Keanu was like, "Oh, you were at that show? Wow!" And I got response out of him, and it was a good moment. But I was terrified that I was going to be that person, and so I was trying
Don't be
really
that
hard
person.
to not be that person. And
get
it
it.
was
Keep it together.
such a fun moment. You got to show me that picture again. Say anything. The John Cusack, the ghetto blaster up in the air.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking more, Better Off Dead is the one I was thinking of with John Cusack.
Okay,
that
yeah,
was like
yeah.
the quintessential
Yeah.
80s movie where, it was like so sad because his girlfriend dumped him for the ski
Yeah.
instructor, and it was painful. And I
Right.
can't remember the names right now because my brain is doing it again. I don't know what it is. It's got to be the lights or the hairspray.
It is. We're
or
just going to blame the
something.
lights, you guys. They're really bright, honestly.
Or it could be all the eyeshadow.
The glitter in it is getting into my eyes. Have you guys seen me wiping my eyes?
Maybe eyeshadow.
That was the one thing about the 80s. Like, you put all that glitter and stuff everywhere.
It ended
get-
up in your eyeball.
If it gets in your eyes, you're screwed all
Oh,
damn
it
day.
scratch your cornea.
All day.
Oh, let's talk about, this is not an 80s movie, but it is centered around the 80s. Hot Tub Time Machine.
I've never seen that. I know.
I'm kidnapping you this weekend.
know,
We are
okay.
watching Hot Tub Time Machine. Oh,
Okay.
my gosh, you have to watch that movie.
Okay. What about Back to the Future?
Oh,
Back
my
to the Future had a great
gosh.
soundtrack too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Back in Time. Love Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
Power of Love.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I haven't
Big
even done
Business.
it.
That was my favorite Bette Midler movie, by the
In
way.
with Higher Love.
Yes, Higher Love, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
You
Remember
cannot
Steve
hear
Winwood?
that song
Steve Winwood.
without seeing that movie.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
cannot.
love
I
it.
mean, if you've seen the movie.
Love it. I love
Obviously.
that movie. It's probably obscure for most people, but to me,
But I think
That was a
that's
good one.
that's why we're like separated at birth or something.
we have
you
been.
know.
We have when we
Something.
forget the same movies, we remember the same movies.
Yeah.
I'm much older, but we still remember
That's
the same
fine.
stuff.
That's fine. You know what?
You are watching the Star Wars movies.
Oh my
with me, and
goodness!
you are
Everybody's
watching
been threatening me.
Hot Tub Time
Okay,
Machine.
wait. I'm taking a poll right now. This is so off topic. Christmas movies. I have never seen A Christmas Story because that kid bothers the hell out of me.
Stop it.
I can't. I can't. And she's threatened me for years.
I'm
that
friends
I am
with the
watch
guy
that movie. I
that's
can't do
Flick
it.
in that movie.
I'm
Scott.
sorry that I said
The one that
what
stuck
I
his
said.
tongue to the pole, you would know. I have the electric sex in my window every year at Christmas, the full-size leg lamp. You are going to watch that with me, whether you like it or not.
She's gonna.
Oh, I'm going to hog tie her. I'm gonna film. We're gonna film Missy having to watch these movies.
Oh my gosh!
You cannot
You
not watch
can't.
these movies.
You can't do that because my face doesn't lie, and if I don't like it,
You haven't given it a chance. You can't. You cannot. If you like the Backstreet Boy, not Backstreet, New Kids on the Block, you won't watch this movie. This movie is so
Listen.
good. You can sit through Peter Billingsley he's actually kind of cute in the movie. His little brother Randy is my favorite.
Okay.
It's a really cute movie. It's charming. And if you don't watch it, I'm just gonna feel like
Okay.
you have to. I'm gonna make you watch it. It's gonna be Christmas in April. We're gonna watch it. It's one of my
God.
favorite all-time Christmas movies.
Well, I'm taking a poll. Do you like it? Do you hate it?
I
Are you-
love the movie.
is it
I
just
love
meh
it.
to
I
you?
have the electric. I have electric sex in my window every Christmas. And if you've seen,
I
the
think
movie,
that's
you'll
just
know what I'm
something
talking
weird
about.
to say. I have
No,
electric sex
you'll
in my window.
understand
Like-
it when you see the movie. I'm not going to tell you why I said that, but the glow of electric sex was in their window too, and you'll understand
Oh dear.
when
That just
you
sounds
see
odd.
the movie. And it's not as bad as it sounds.
Well, it sounds pretty
It's
awful.
not that bad. It's not.
Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not having electric sex in my window.
You you will laugh
No.
when you see it, and you'll want electric sex in your window too.
How many of you guys want electric sex in your window? Let Missy know.
We
Let
all
Lila
want
know.
electric sex in our window. People drive by and take pictures of my electric sex every year. Every year in my window.
All right,
It's
guys.
true. All right. Well, we got to wrap this up. I'm going to make this chick watch A Christmas Story. We're going to watch all 3 Star Wars movies that matter.
And I'm gonna
she's
make her
gonna
watch this.
Hot Tub Time Machine. And then maybe when she's done with all those
I
classics.
have to do all of
I will
those before
watch.
I get-
Yes,
that's
because
not
no one
fair.
cares about Young Guns too. The other movies are all important. And I know you agree with me on this. I will watch this when you get up with the
I
times.
think Emilio Estevez is going to be very,
Well, Emilio.
very offended by
No,
that.
I love Emilio, but I like him better in The Breakfast Club, so that's just me.
I liked him in Mighty Ducks.
I liked
too.
him in that Trash Man movie with.
Men at Work.
Yes.
Oh my, with Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
Oh, that was the best movie. And then the pizza guy from he was in summer school and what else was he in?
I don't know.
The guy that they kidnapped, the pizza delivery guy.
They kidnapped the pizza delivery.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I don't know which one that one is. Which one? Okay, well I'll
That's a
watch
minute-
that
okay.
after you watch the important
clap.
ones. When we watch the important ones,
Okay.
I'll watch this. I promise.
All right.
I'll even rent it like on TV, so we don't have to open up your.
Oh, we're not
VHS.
opening my VHS, but I do have a VCR still.
I do too, but
See?
we'll rent it.
I think I also have a recorded copy on the VHS that you could buy that were blank and you
Okay.
just recorded movies.
All right.
I did that all the time. Did you guys ever do that at, like, you'd go to Blockbuster Video or anything?
Yeah.
And you'd figure out how to put the tape on the movie so that you
yeah,
could
and you could
actually
record it.
record?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Dean Cameron.
Who's
yes.
Dean Cameron?
He was the one, he did the special effects stuff with the blood and all that in summer school.
He did. He was adorable.
He was in Men at Work. He was the
I-
one they kidnapped.
I loved him.
See?
I didn't know that was the same
yes.
guy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Just I knew he was gonna do that to you.
Why?
Don't do
Why?
it. You guys, wait.
Let me
You
live
know-
in the 80s. Don't do that to me every
You guys-
day. That
you
was
guys-
horrible.
That was.
That was horrible.
Okay, so what you guys don't realize is my husband is behind the camera and he pulls up current pictures of people that you loved when you were a kid.
And he sucks your soul out.
So like certain people that you absolutely loved and adored in the 80s, if you had crushes on them, you probably
None of
just
us
don't
are
want
what we were in the 80s.
You just don't want to look up their now pictures. I
Oh,
mean,
God.
it's kind of like with some of the I'm not going to say names, but there's some artists that were men that were very big in the 80s, 90s, and you look at them now
that
and they
are
look
really
like
big now.
they look like grandmas, like
Some look like arthritic monkeys.
or that. Until next time,
Some
everybody.
have aged well, some like fine wine, and some others, it's like shocking.
Yeah.
Some of them, and I can't talk. I haven't aged like wine. I've aged like
Stop it.
beef jerky.
She calls herself beef jerky.
I do.
Foot,
With the
Tom
amount,
Petty,
I am Tom
a
Petty.
potato, a
beef jerky.
tomato. She gives herself the worst names.
I know,
you
but
guys.
you know what though? It's all
guys-
good because then when I have a good day, I feel really good about it.
Okay, we're going to come at you next week from our favorite coffee shop, and
Yes.
we're going to have even more fun.
We're gonna be high as kites on coffee.
Yeah, we're going to be buzzing, man. It's
And
going to be
we
great.
babbled a long time today.
But it was fun.
But it was fun.
And if you stuck around for the whole thing, bravo. I'm going
Thank
to give you a golf clap, golf clap,
And I'm
golf
going to
clap.
make her watch those movies. And if you have any comments about it, please encourage
Yes.
her to watch Christmas Story, the best Star Wars movies, and Hot Tub Time Machine.
And
because-
don't forget our trivia questions. What's her favorite song on the Wham! Make It Big album? Okay. And who was the actor that was in one of the music videos
Yeah,
of John Bon
let
Jovi
us
for the
know. We'll
soundtrack?
send you something fun.
All right, guys.
I don't know what it is yet, but
We'll
Yoda
figure it
will
out.
decide.
That's right. We'll let him
May the
decide.
force be with you.
Till next time. We'll see you soon.
Bye, y'all.